So I watched this movie a little while ago. I'm not sure exactly why I wanted to watch this. I was trying to watch a horror movie, and seemed like an interesting slasher film. I'd always kind of known about it. I think this is one that was kind of iconic in like the um, when you went to go rent movies and stuff in the horror section. This is one that was kind of stood out, the cover and stuff. This is the Slumber Massacre from 1982. The plot is super basic. A group of high school students and one of the main girls that's involved throws a slumber party, and there's a mental patient that escapes and is just gonna go around and kill a bunch of people. There's like 100% Halloween ripoff by like for so many reasons. There's no interesting actors or anything that went on to do anything. The only interesting thing I guess about like the writer director, it's written and directed by women, separate women, but it's kind of different for the genre, and especially for kind of how much gratuitous like nudity there is in the movie. It's kind of surprising it was written and directed by women. The director is Amy Holden Jones. She didn't go on to direct much else, but she did have some decent writing credits later. She wrote screenplay for Mystic Pizza, the first Beethoven movie, as well as some of the other Beethoven movies, Beethoven with a Dog, and Indecent Proposal. She wrote that screenplay. But other than that, just a bunch of unknowns. Acting's not very good. The killer is probably like the least intimidating killer in any movie ever, any slasher. He looks like kind of like Fred Armisen, if you know that comedian. He's just running around killing these girls and other high schoolers, and he's escaped from a mental institute, so they mention at the beginning that he's a killer, but there's no real motivation at all for why he's doing any of the things he's doing. It's kind of funny. He's like a short guy, not that scary. He's just like a guy, and they show him like very clearly multiple times, and I don't know. It is really funny to think that he's like a scary, intimidating killer, but he is. Actually, the ending of it is somewhat interesting. Some of the kills are okay, so it's not like the worst slasher film ever, but it's definitely down there. It's not at the top of the list of horror slashers to see, but I read later that it was supposed to actually be a parody of the slasher genre, which kind of made it a little more interesting, because some of the stuff they do is really, really dumb. And I guess if it was a parody, it'd make more sense. But I think that was just something that kind of got lost in the production. I think it was kind of, from what I read, it said that it was written as a bit of a parody, but then once it got into production and was being made, they made it more serious, a serious slasher. So a lot of that gets lost. But it's kind of ends up being kind of in the middle between. It's kind of dorky and dumb, and if they were going for parody, it could have worked. But they try to make it serious, so it just makes the serious movie look weird and goofy at parts. So, I guess if you're really into horror and slashers, that's kind of I like that genre quite a bit, slasher horror films, and so if you really want to go down and check out all the movies in that category, I was want to check out maybe later after some of the really good ones. Like I said, this is 100% rip off of Halloween. It's so similar, it's hard not to notice it. But that's like the best slasher film ever, though, Halloween from '78. So if you wanted to see a good one, start off with the best one. You could do that. And so yeah, I guess my rating, I'm just giving it a 2 out of 5. It's not great, not the worst of the worst. So yeah, that'll be my review.